Hi, and good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. But listen, the reality, I think you made a very good summary of what's the current situation and the current sentiment, right? Wait and see is exactly what you are perceiving in the market. And frankly, the news flow is a clear they're confirming what you are saying. One day there is a positive news on inflation going down. The other day there are expectations on the payroll, which are coming better than expected. And the day after, actually, there is a bit of softness expecting on the payroll. Reality is that there is a lot of uncertainty still. There are very positive news that came out to the market last week in terms of macro data and macro performance. But then it's enough for one of the strategies or some of the strategies to show again a bit of question mark or, some concern around potential numbers coming out. And again, the market gets stuck and is pausing and waiting again to see what's going to happen on the next numbers. Reality is that, even when last week the results came out from NVIDIA, there was a lot of speculation on the fact that the markets could have been hit badly on a general basis, on a global basis. And the reality is that only the single stock got hit and the market recovered properly. And actually macro data had the best out of it. So if you're asking me, are we going to see again what happened on the 5th of August? My expectation and my guess is, my hope also is not. Clearly, there is a lot of focus on these numbers coming out on the payroll, and everyone needs to look into it. But I'm assuming the Fed, the SEC, everyone is going ahead with the cut, and investors will finally try to take a bit of a bit of faith on what the market and the recovery path is going to be.
Yeah, and that recovery path is going to be one that I think the market is going to look at a lot, because there's the question mark around reallocations that you also speak about in your note actually with us here as well. I mean, just unpack these a little bit more. What do you anticipate then in the way of reallocations in a market that looks to be a lot more volatile as we head towards the end of the year? There's all that election risk that some people continue to talk about as well in play here. And perhaps what looks then like mega caps having had their run and now maybe not maintaining leadership.
Yeah. But listen, I'm looking at it also specifically from an equity capital markets perspective, right? The reality is that we come from the back of a very positive, frankly, good company results for Q2, both in Europe and in the US. Again, macro data that are performing well, investor sentiment and investor willingness to actually deploy capital into the stocks and into the market pretty high. Strong focus from investors on new companies coming into the market and also potentially blocks. So reality is that we are not seeing a problem of supply of demand, but we are seeing a problem in terms of offer of potential new company coming into the market, right? So my expectation from an ECM perspective is IPO and new companies may probably struggle a bit to come towards the end of this year because of the specific events. You mentioned the US elections, etc. So market window are not very wide and broad for new issuers to actually hit the market. However, I do expect quite a lot of supply coming from existing companies, from listed companies, so potential private equities that are trimming out their stakes and taking the benefit actually of positive returns from a stock performance, and also taking the benefit of having more liquidity available for potential acquisitions and new M&A opportunities. So I think this is the trend expected for the end of the year. 2025, I think, again, as I mentioned, the pipeline for potential candidates for IPO is solid. Investor demand is available. And so I'm expecting 2025 I'm much more bullish on a 2025 IPO window both for Europe and the US.